Hello there. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight. Maybe your mind has been racing. Maybe the weight of the day feels heavy on your shoulders. Maybe you're carrying worries that seem too big to bear. Whatever brought you here, you're safe now. There's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be. Just let yourself settle in. Let your breathing slow and allow these gentle truths about the universe to wash over you like a calm tide. Tonight, we're going to explore something beautiful. We're going to look at the vast, quiet universe and discover that within its enormity lies the most unexpected gift: comfort. Because when you step back far enough, when you see how truly immense and ancient everything is, your troubles begin to feel different, not dismissed, but held, cradled by something so much larger than any single moment of pain. So close your eyes if you'd like. Let the sound of these words carry you. And remember, you are not alone in this cosmos. You are woven into its very fabric, held by forces older than mountains, connected to stars that burned billions of years before you took your first breath. Let's begin with something simple and profound. Right now, as you rest wherever you are traveling through space at an extraordinary speed. Not because you're moving, but because everything is moving. The Earth spins beneath you at just over 1,000 miles per hour near the equator. That's faster than the speed of sound, and yet you feel nothing. No wind in your hair, no sense of motion, just stillness. But that's only the beginning. While the Earth spins, it also orbits the Sun at about 67,000 miles per hour. The entire solar system, Sun and all, sweeps around the center of the Milky Way galaxy at roughly 500,000 miles per hour. And the Milky Way itself drifts through space as part of a larger cosmic dance. All of this motion, all of this incredible speed, and you don't feel a thing. You are cradled so perfectly by these movements that they register only as stillness. This is one of the universe's gentlest truths. Motion and peace can exist together. You can be carried forward without effort, held without strain. When anxiety tells you that you must control everything, that you must force your way forward or fall behind, remember this: you are already moving. You have always been moving. The universe carries you whether you struggle or rest. And right now, in this moment, resting is enough. Let's drift a little deeper. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and felt small? Most of us have. We see those distant points of light and recognize somewhere in our bones that we are tiny. But here's what's remarkable: that feeling of smallness, which might seem sad or frightening, is actually one of the most comforting sensations in existence. Because if you are small, then your problems are small too. Not unimportant, not unworthy of care, but proportional. When you're anxious, your mind can make a single worry feel like the center of the universe. It can convince you that this one thing, this mistake, this fear, this pain, is all that matters. The universe, in its quiet way, reminds you otherwise. The stars you see on a clear night, those distant suns, they have been burning for millions or billions of years. The light reaching your eyes tonight left some of those stars before humans walked upright, before we built cities or learned to speak. Those stars watched the dinosaurs come and go. They witnessed the formation of mountains and the drying of ancient seas, and they will continue burning long after this moment, this day. This entire era of human existence has faded into the past. Does that make you feel insignificant? Perhaps for a moment, but let it settle differently. Let it remind you that the thing keeping you awake tonight, that knot of anxiety in your chest, it too will pass. It is already passing. In the scale of stars and galaxies, Even your longest, hardest year is barely a flicker, and there is peace in that. The universe does not ask you to carry your burdens forever. Time, vast and patient, will gently take them from you. Now let's talk about something invisible, something that surrounds you constantly, but that you've never seen and never will. Dark matter. It makes up about 85% of all matter in the universe. Everything you can see, every star, every planet, every galaxy, all of it is just 15% of what's actually out there. The rest is hidden, invisible, working quietly in the background. Scientists know dark matter exists not because they can see it, but because of what it does. It holds galaxies together. Without dark matter, the stars in spiral galaxies would fly apart. The cosmic web, that beautiful structure of galaxies connected across billions of light years, would unravel. Dark matter is the invisible thread that keeps everything connected, and it never asks for recognition. It never demands to be seen. It simply does its work quietly, constantly, holding everything together without fanfare or acknowledgement. Perhaps you know what that feels like. Perhaps you've spent time holding things together, caring for others, doing work that goes unnoticed. The universe sees you, not in a literal sense, but in the way that dark matter exists. Essential, fundamental, the very thing that keeps structures from falling apart. Your invisible efforts matter. They are woven into the fabric of the lives around you, just as surely as dark matter is woven into the fabric of space. And just like dark matter, you don't need to be seen to be important. Your presence alone, your steady existence, is enough. Let me tell you about light. When you look at the sun, you're seeing light that left its surface about 8 minutes ago. The sun is 93 million miles away, and light, even though it travels at the fastest speed possible in our universe, takes time to cross that distance. So when you feel sunshine on your face, you're feeling the past, a gentle warm echo of something that happened 8 minutes before. But here's where it gets more beautiful. The light you see, those photons that strike your skin and warm you, they didn't begin their journey 8 minutes ago. They began it much, much earlier. Deep, inside the sun's core, where nuclear fusion creates energy, photons are born. But the sun is dense, incredibly dense, and those newborn photons can't simply race to the surface. They bounce. They collide with atoms, scatter in random directions, take one step forward and two to the side. A single photon can take hundreds of thousands of years to travel from the sun's core to its surface. Some estimates suggest it might take 1 million years. That warmth you feel on a sunny day, it began its journey before humans existed, before we built civilizations, before we learned to make fire. The sunlight touching you now is older than recorded history. And somehow, despite all those countless collisions, despite the chaos and randomness of its journey, that photon found its way to you, right here, right now, against impossible odds. Through unimaginable time, the light persisted, and it reached you. When you're struggling, when the path forward seems blocked at every turn, when it feels like you're bouncing between obstacles with no progress, remember the photon. Remember that persistence, even when it looks like randomness, even when it feels like you're going nowhere, can still carry you toward warmth, toward light, toward exactly where you need to be. Let's drift outward now, away from our sun, past the planets, beyond the edge of our solar system. Out here, in the space between stars, it is dark, profoundly, absolutely dark. But it is not empty. Even in the darkest regions of space, in the vast gulfs between galaxies, there is never truly nothing. Space even at its emptiest, contains about 1 atom per cubic meter. That doesn't sound like much, and it isn't. It's almost nothing. But it's not nothing. Even in the loneliest, most isolated regions of the cosmos, there is always something. Some tiny piece of matter, some quantum fluctuation, some faint whisper of energy. The universe abhors true emptiness. Even in its most barren places, it finds a way to be. And perhaps that's true for us as well. Even in your loneliest moments, even when you feel most isolated, you are never truly empty. There is always something within you, some spark, some small light that refuses to go out, some piece of yourself that persists. And here's the beautiful part. Those isolated atoms in deep space, they're not truly alone either. They're connected by gravity, by electromagnetic forces, by the fundamental fabric of space-time itself. Separation in the universe is an illusion. Everything touches everything else, if only faintly, if only across impossible distances. You may feel alone tonight, but you are held by the same forces that hold distant stars. You are connected to everything that has ever been. The atoms in your body were forged in ancient stars. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe briefly gathered into this particular form, this particular moment of consciousness. And when this form dissolves, when your atoms scatter once, again they will not disappear. They will drift outward, become part of new structures, new beings, new stars. You are temporary, yes, but you are also eternal. The pieces of you have always existed and always will, just in different arrangements, different stories, different songs. There is a place in space called the Botas Void. It is a region of the universe about 330 million light-years in diameter that contains almost no galaxies. While most of the universe is filled with clusters and superclusters of galaxies connected by filaments of matter, the Botas Void is eerily empty. Only about 60 galaxies exist in a space where we'd expect to find thousands. It is one of the largest known voids in the observable universe, a cosmic emptiness so vast it challenges our understanding of how the universe formed. And yet, even this void is not truly empty. It still contains dark matter. It still has structure, however faint. And it serves a purpose in the cosmic web, defining the boundaries between denser regions, giving shape to everything around it by being absent. Sometimes the empty spaces in our lives serve the same purpose, the times when nothing seems to be happening, when progress feels impossible, when we're waiting in what feels like a void. These are not wasted moments. They are defining spaces. They give shape to the moments of fullness that surround them. They allow us to rest before the next chapter begins. If you are in a void right now, if life feels empty and you're waiting for something, anything to happen, know this: the void is temporary. It has boundaries. And beyond those boundaries, structure and light and connection are waiting. The universe does not leave voids empty forever. Slowly, quietly, matter drifts inward. Stars form. Life begins again. Your void will not last forever. It is shaping you even now in ways you cannot yet see. Let me tell you about something called the cosmic microwave background. It is the oldest light in the universe, the afterglow of the Big Bang itself. About 380,000 years after the universe began, it cooled enough for atoms to form. Before that moment, space was filled with a hot, dense plasma that light couldn't travel through. But when atoms formed, light was suddenly freed. It could move, and it has been moving ever since. That ancient light, stretched and cooled by 13.8 billion years of cosmic expansion, still fills the universe. It's everywhere. all around you, all the time. A faint microwave glow just a few degrees above absolute zero. You can't see it or feel it, but it's there, the oldest thing in existence, whispering the story of how everything began. Scientists study this light carefully. They map its tiny variations in temperature, the subtle ripples that would one day become galaxies and stars and planets and you. And what they find is remarkable. The early universe was almost perfectly smooth, almost perfectly uniform, but not quite. There were tiny fluctuations, small differences in density, imperfections in the fabric of newborn space-time, and those imperfections, those tiny flaws, they were necessary. Without them, matter would never have clumped together. Stars would never have formed. Galaxies would never have emerged. Life would never have begun. The universe needed to be imperfect to become interesting, to become alive. So when you judge yourself for your flaws, for the ways you don't measure up to some imagined ideal, remember the cosmic microwave background. Remember that the most beautiful, complex, meaningful structures in existence arose from imperfections. That without those small differences, those tiny variations, there would only be emptiness. Your imperfections are not obstacles to your becoming. They are the very mechanism by which you become. They are the seeds of everything beautiful you will grow into. Now let's talk about something that might seem frightening at first, but I promise it holds comfort. Black holes. Regions of space where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape. They are often portrayed as cosmic monsters, devouring everything around them. But the reality is gentler than that. Black holes are not vacuum cleaners, indiscriminately sucking up everything nearby. They only affect objects that come very close to them. If our sun suddenly became a black hole, which it won't, but if it did, the Earth would simply continue orbiting exactly as before. The mass is the same, the gravity is the same at the same distance. Black holes only become inescapable when you cross a boundary called the event horizon. And here's what's beautiful about that boundary. Outside the event horizon, you can still escape. You can still turn around. The pull is strong, yes, but not inevitable. Not yet. There is always a point right up until you cross that final threshold where you can still choose differently. Perhaps you felt trapped by something in your life, a situation, a relationship, a pattern of behavior. It can feel like a black hole, like something with such strong gravity that escape is impossible. But remember the event horizon. Remember that there is always a boundary. And unless you've truly crossed it, unless you've gone past the point of no return, there is still time, still choice, still the possibility of a different path. Most of what feels inescapable is not. Most of what feels like it has you in its grip forever is simply pulling strongly, and you are stronger than you know. But even black holes themselves are not eternal. This is perhaps the most unexpected and comforting truth about them. Stephen Hawking discovered that black holes can slowly evaporate. Through a quantum mechanical process now called Hawking radiation, black holes can lose mass over time, extremely slowly. Yes, a black hole the mass of our sun would take 10 to the power of 67 years to evaporate. That's a 1 followed by 67 zeros, longer than the current age of the universe by more times than you can imagine. But the point remains. Even the densest, most inescapable things in existence are temporary. Even black holes die. Given enough time, everything changes. Everything passes. The thing that feels permanent, the darkness that seems absolute, it too will fade. And that is not a sad truth. It is a liberating one. Nothing holds you forever. No pain is truly permanent. Time, vast and patient, will eventually carry everything away, including the weight you're carrying right now. Let's return to something more familiar now. Let's talk about water. You are made mostly of water. About 60% of your body weight is water, and that water, those H2O molecules flowing through your veins, filling your cells, making up your tears and your blood and your breath, they are older than you can comprehend. Water on Earth is ancient. It has been here, in some form, for billions of years. Water you drank today, some of those molecules fell as rain over prehistoric forests. Some flowed through rivers that no longer exist. Some were drawn up by plants that have turned to stone. Some were drunk by dinosaurs. Water cycles endlessly on our planet. It evaporates from oceans, forms clouds, falls as rain, flows through rivers, seeps into the ground, is taken up by living things, released again, and begins the cycle anew. The same water over and over in an endless dance between states. You are not just made of water. You are made of ancient water. Water that has been ice and steam and mist and wave. Water that has been part of other lives, other stories, before it became part of you. And after you, it will be part of still more stories, other lives, other forms. This is what it means to be connected. The boundary between you and the world is more fluid than it seems. You are constantly exchanging molecules with everything around you. The air you breathe was breathed by others. The water you drink has flowed through countless beings. You are not a closed system, separate and alone. You are an open process, constantly becoming, constantly exchanging, constantly part of the larger flow. And there is profound peace in that. You are not responsible for being everything, for containing everything within yourself. You are allowed to be porous, to take in what you need and release what you don't, to flow like water between different states without ever ceasing to be yourself. Now I want to tell you about something that happens far above your head, something you've probably never thought about, but that protects you every single day. The Earth's magnetic field, generated by the motion of molten iron in our planet's core. This invisible shield extends thousands of miles into space. It protects us from the solar wind, a constant stream of charged particles flowing outward from the sun. Without this magnetic field, the solar wind would strip away our atmosphere. Earth would become like Mars, a cold, dry world, unable to support life as we know it. But the magnetic field deflects these particles, bends them around our planet, keeps us safe, and it does this constantly, quietly, without you ever seeing it or feeling it. When charged particles from the sun do manage to slip through, guided by the magnetic field toward the poles, something beautiful happens. They collide with atoms in our upper atmosphere and create light, curtains of green and blue and red dancing across the Arctic and Antarctic skies. The aurora borealis and aurora australis, the northern and southern lights, beauty born from the interaction between danger and protection, between the violent outpouring of the sun and the patient shielding of the earth. The aurora reminds us that even when we are under assault, even when forces beyond our control try to strip us down to nothing, there are other forces, invisible but powerful, working to keep us whole. You have magnetic fields too, not literal ones, but protective forces nonetheless, people who care about you, memories that sustain you, small routines and comforts that shield you from the worst of the world's harshness. They may be invisible. You may not always notice them, but they are there, working constantly, keeping you safer than you know. And sometimes, when the pressure is strong enough, when the difficult things manage to slip past your defenses, they create beauty, pain that becomes art, struggle that becomes wisdom, difficulty that becomes depth. Your aurora moments, born from the collision of hardship and resilience. Let me share something about silence. Space is often described as silent, and this is true. Sound needs a medium to travel through, air or water or some other substance that can vibrate. In the near vacuum of space, there is no medium, no vibration, no sound. But this silence is not empty. It is full of potential, full of electromagnetic radiation, full of gravity waves, full of quantum fluctuations. The universe hums with activity we cannot hear, speaks in languages our ears were not designed to understand. And perhaps the same is true when you are quiet, when you have nothing to say, when words fail you, when silence feels heavy and uncomfortable. That silence is not emptiness. It is not absence. It is simply communication in a form you haven't yet learned to interpret. Your body speaks when your voice cannot. Your presence communicates what words would fail to capture, and sometimes the most profound truths can only be shared in silence. Sometimes the deepest comfort comes not from explanation or discussion, but from simply being with someone in their quiet, sharing the wordless space. The universe is mostly silent, and yet it is not lonely. Galaxies drift together in the void, connected by gravity and history. Stars shine without sound, but their light reaches across unimaginable distances. Black holes consume matter in absolute stillness, but their influence shapes entire galactic centers. You do not need to be loud to matter. You do not need to constantly explain yourself, justify yourself, prove yourself. Your quiet existence is enough. The universe values silence. It allows things to simply be. Now let's talk about something truly vast: the cosmic web. When astronomers map the large-scale structure of the universe, they see something remarkable. Galaxies are not scattered randomly. They cluster together along filaments like beads on string, forming a web-like pattern that spans billions of light years. Between these filaments are the voids we talked about earlier, enormous empty spaces. This structure formed over billions of years, shaped by the invisible threads of dark matter. The densest regions attracted more matter, galaxies formed, stars ignited, and over time this beautiful, delicate structure emerged, a cosmic spiderweb woven from gravity and time. What strikes me most about the cosmic web is its fragility and its strength existing together. It looks delicate, like it could tear at any moment, and in cosmic terms it is. Galaxies move, structures change. Over trillions of years, this web will look completely different. But right now, in this cosmic era, it holds. It persists. It connects everything. You are part of a web too, not made of dark matter and galaxies, but of relationships and influences and shared moments. Every person you've ever met, every conversation you've had, every small kindness given or received, these are the threads. And yes, your web is fragile. Relationships change, people drift apart, connections fade, but right now, in this moment, the web holds. You are connected. You are part of a larger pattern, and even when individual threads break, the web itself remains. New connections form, new filaments emerge, the pattern persists, even as its details change. You are never as isolated as you feel. The web is always there, always holding you, even when you can't see all its threads. Let me tell you about neutrinos. They are tiny particles, far smaller than atoms, that barely interact with normal matter. Right now, as you read this, trillions of neutrinos are passing through your body every second. They're coming from the sun, from distant supernovas, from the cosmic microwave background itself. They pass through the Earth as if it weren't there, through walls, through you, barely noticing, barely noticed. Most neutrinos will pass through the entire Earth without ever hitting a single atom. They are ghosts, moving through solid matter like it's empty space, and they're everywhere, all the time, streaming through the universe in numbers beyond counting. To catch neutrinos, to study them, scientists build massive detectors deep underground or under ice. Even then, they only catch a handful. Most slip away undetected. But those few that are caught tell us remarkable things about the sun's core, about distant stellar explosions, about the fundamental nature of matter and energy. Sometimes you might feel like a neutrino, passing through the world without making an impact, invisible, unnoticed. But here's the truth, even neutrinos leave traces, even they occasionally interact. Even they, in their nearly massless, nearly invisible way, carry information, tell stories, matter. You may feel like you're passing through life without leaving a mark, but that's not possible. Every interaction, no matter how brief or subtle, changes things, changes you, changes the people you encounter. You are seen, even when you can't see yourself being seen. You matter, even when you feel insubstantial. And just like scientists build special detectors to catch neutrinos, there are people who are attuned to you, who notice you, who see your subtle influence even when you don't. You are not as invisible as you think. Let's talk about time for a moment. Time is one of the strangest things in the universe. Einstein showed us that time is not constant. It flows differently depending on how fast you're moving and how strong the gravity around you is. On the International Space Station, time flows slightly faster than on Earth. Not much, just a few microseconds per day, but measurably, genuinely different. If you could stand on the surface of a neutron star, time would slow to almost nothing compared to time far away. And near the event horizon of a black hole, time becomes so distorted that from the outside, it appears to stop entirely. Time is flexible, relative, personal, and this is strangely comforting, because it means that your experience of time, the way a painful moment stretches into eternity or a joyful evening passes in seconds, that's not just perception. Time genuinely is different in different contexts. Your subjective experience is valid, real. When you're anxious and a minute feels like an hour, that's your personal time dilation. Your internal experience of duration is as real as any physics experiment, and when you find peace, when you enter a flow state and hours vanish, that too is real. Your relationship with time is unique to you. And here's the beautiful part, because time is relative, because it flows differently for different observers, in a very real sense, the painful moments don't last as long as you think they do. Seen from a different reference frame, from outside your immediate experience, they're already over, already in the past, already fading. The universe is teaching you something profound about time. It is not your enemy. It is not even fixed. It is a dimension you move through, and your movement can be fast or slow, smooth or halting. You are allowed to experience time your own way, and no matter how slowly a difficult moment passes, it still passes. Time always moves forward, carrying you with it, whether you feel ready or not. Let me tell you about the Voyager spacecraft, two small probes launched in 1977, designed to explore the outer solar system. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 flew past Jupiter and Saturn, sending back the first close-up images of these gas giants and their moons. Then they continued outward, past the orbit of Pluto, beyond the realm of the planets. In 2012, Voyager 1 became the first human-made object to enter interstellar space. It crossed the boundary where the sun's influence fades and the space between stars begins. Voyager 2 followed in 2018, and they're still going, still moving outward, still transmitting data back to Earth when they can. These spacecraft carry golden records, phonograph discs containing sounds and images from Earth, music from different cultures, greetings in many languages, the sound of rain and wind and laughter. Their messages in bottles tossed into the cosmic ocean, unlikely to ever be found, but carrying the hope that someone, somewhere, might listen. Voyager reminds us that we can send pieces of ourselves into the unknown, that even small things, given enough time and momentum, can travel impossible distances. Those spacecraft weigh about 3/4 of a ton each, tiny, fragile things in the vastness of space. And yet they've traveled farther than anything else we've ever made. They've left the cradle of our solar system and touched the shore of something larger. You too can send pieces of yourself outward, words, article, kindness, small actions that might travel farther than you know, that might reach people you'll never meet in times you'll never see. You don't need to be large or powerful to have far-reaching influence. You just need to keep moving, keep transmitting, keep hoping that your message matters. And even if, like the golden records, your message is never heard, it still exists. It still travels through space, carrying your voice, your truth, your particular frequency. That is not nothing. That is beautiful. Now, I want to talk about galaxies colliding. It sounds violent, and in cosmic terms it is. When two galaxies merge, their gravitational fields interact, pulling streams of stars into long tidal tails. New stars burst into being as gas clouds collide and compress. Black holes at the galaxy's centers spiral toward each other in a dance that lasts millions of years. But here's what's remarkable. When galaxies collide, individual stars almost never hit each other. Space is mostly empty, remember. Even within galaxies, the distance between stars is vast. So when the Milky Way and Andromeda galaxies collide, which they will in about 4.5 billion years, the stars will pass through each other like ghosts. The galaxies will merge, but the stars themselves will be fine. What changes is the structure. The spiral arms will be disrupted. The neat organization will give way to something more elliptical, more chaotic. The galaxies will become one, a new entity that is neither what it was before, but something that contains pieces of both. Maybe you've experienced a collision like this, a major life change, a loss, a merger of identities or paths. It felt catastrophic, and in a way, it was. The structure of your life changed. But the core of you, the essential you, that's like the stars in a galactic collision. You pass through intact, changed by the new gravitational field, yes. Part of a different structure now, but still yourself, still shining. And the new galaxy that forms from such a collision, it's not worse than the old ones, just different, sometimes more stable, sometimes with bursts of new star formation, new possibilities that the old configuration couldn't support. Your life after collision is not ruined, it's transformed. And transformation, however painful, is still a form of creation. Let me tell you something about cold. The coldest natural place in the universe that we know of is the Boomerang Nebula. About 5,000 light-years from Earth, it's a cloud of gas and dust expelled by a dying star, and it's cooling as it expands. The temperature there is about 1 degree Kelvin, That's 1 degree above absolute zero, the coldest possible temperature, the point at which atoms almost stop moving. But even there, in that unimaginable cold, there is motion, there is energy, there is never true stillness, because quantum mechanics doesn't allow it. Even at absolute zero, quantum fluctuations would continue. The universe hums with a baseline of activity that can never be completely stilled. When you feel frozen by depression or anxiety or grief, when it seems like you've stopped, like all motion and warmth have left you, remember the Boomerang Nebula. Remember that even in the coldest place known, there is still movement, still change, still the potential for transformation. You are never truly frozen, never truly still. There is always something happening inside you, even when you can't feel it. Cells dividing, blood flowing, neurons firing. Your body at least keeps faith with motion, keeps working to carry you forward, even when your mind has given up. And cold, remember, is not permanent. The Boomerang Nebula is cooling now, yes, but eventually it will disperse. The material will be absorbed by other structures. New stars will form, heat and light will return. Everything in the universe moves in cycles. Cold becomes warm, becomes cold, becomes warm again. Nothing stays frozen forever. Now let's talk about something that might seem abstract but holds deep comfort. The laws of physics are the same everywhere in the observable universe. The way gravity works here on Earth, it works the same way in a galaxy 13 billion light years away. The way light behaves, the way atoms bond, the fundamental constants that govern reality, they're the same everywhere. This means that the universe is comprehensible, knowable, not random or chaotic, but following rules we can discover and understand. And this is a profound gift. It means that your actions have predictable consequences, that cause and effect still work, that the universe is not conspiring against you in ways that shift and change without reason. When everything feels unpredictable, when your life seems chaotic, remember that underneath it all, the fundamental rules haven't changed. Gravity still pulls. Light still shines. Energy is still conserved. The universe is still making sense, even when your circumstances don't. And there's something else, because the laws of physics are the same everywhere. Everything in the universe is connected by shared rules. The atoms in your body follow the same quantum mechanics as atoms in distant nebulae. The electromagnetic forces holding your molecules together are the same forces lighting up distant quasars. You are made of the same stuff as everything else, following the same rules, part of the same grand pattern. The universe is not indifferent to you. It cannot be, because you are not separate from it. You are an expression of its laws, a temporary arrangement of its matter and energy. When you align yourself with natural rhythms, when you stop fighting against the fundamental rules of rest and motion, action and stillness, you're not giving up. You're accepting your place in the pattern. And there is deep peace in that acceptance. Let me tell you about the sun's journey. Our sun, that familiar star that rises every morning, is not standing still. It orbits the center of the Milky Way galaxy, just like Earth orbits the sun. But the sun's orbit is vast. It takes about 230 million years to complete one trip around the galactic center. Astronomers call this a cosmic year. In Earth years, we've only gone around the galaxy about 20 times since the solar system formed. When the first dinosaurs appeared, we were in a different part of the galaxy entirely. The stars you see at night, the constellations that seem eternal, they're temporary. Give it a few million years, and they'll look completely different from Earth. The patterns we cherish, that we've built stories around, are just snapshots, brief moments in a much longer journey. And the sun will continue this journey long after humanity is gone. It will loop around the galaxy again and again, through neighborhoods of stars we'll never name, past dangers we'll never witness, carrying its family of planets through the cosmic dark. There's something deeply comforting in this. You are part of a journey much larger than yourself, a journey that began before you and will continue after you. You don't need to complete it, you don't need to see its end. You just need to be present for your part of it, to add your verse to the song that has been singing for billions of years. And when you feel like you're going in circles, like you keep revisiting the same problems, the same struggles, remember the sun's orbit. Sometimes apparent repetition is actually a spiral. You're not back where you started. You're just passing through similar regions of a much larger pattern. Every time around you're different, older, carrying new wisdom. The struggle feels familiar, but you are not the same person meeting it this time. Let's talk about supernovas. When massive stars die, they don't go quietly. They explode with a force that briefly outshines entire galaxies. In that explosion, in the death of one star, something remarkable happens. Elements are created, all the heavy elements in the universe, everything heavier than hydrogen and helium, was forged in the hearts of dying stars, or in the violence of their final explosions. The carbon in your cells, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, all of it was created in ancient stars that died long before our sun was born. You are literally made of stardust, not poetically, not metaphorically, literally. The atoms in your body were scattered across space by stellar explosions, drifted for millions of years, were pulled together by gravity into new structures, and eventually became you. This means that your existence is intimately connected to death, to transformation, to the violent endings that seed new beginnings. Without those ancient supernovas, you would not exist. The universe needed destruction to create the building blocks of life, and perhaps this is true in smaller ways too. Perhaps the parts of your life that have exploded, the things that have died, they too have scattered elements that will one day become something new. The end of a relationship seeds future wisdom about love. The loss of a job seeds new skills or directions. The death of who you thought you were seeds the birth of who you actually are. Nothing is wasted in the universe. Every ending feeds a beginning. Every death, on whatever scale, scatters the material for new life. You are not broken. You are transforming. And transformation, even when it looks like destruction, is still creation. Now let me tell you about something called cosmic inflation. In the first fraction of a second after the Big Bang, the universe expanded faster than the speed of light. This sounds impossible, but it's not. Space itself can expand at any rate. It's not moving through anything. It's simply growing. In less time than it takes to blink, the universe went from smaller than an atom to larger than a galaxy. Everything that exists, all the matter and energy and space, was inflated from something nearly infinitesimally small. And then inflation stopped, and the expansion continued at a slower, steadier pace. We don't fully understand why inflation happened or why it stopped when it did, but we see its fingerprints in the structure of the universe. The cosmic microwave background, that ancient light we talked about earlier, carries the imprint of quantum fluctuations from the inflationary period, tiny ripples that would become galaxy clusters and voids. Inflation teaches us something profound. Rapid, almost incomprehensible change is possible. sometimes necessary. The universe needed that explosive growth to become what it is. And maybe you do too sometimes. Maybe you're in an inflationary period right now. Everything changing too fast, expanding too quickly, feeling like you might burst. But inflation ends. It gives way to steadier growth. The rapid expansion serves a purpose, setting up the structure for everything that follows. Your periods of overwhelming change are not wrong. They're not failures. They're foundational. They're setting up the pattern for a longer, steadier expansion to come. Trust the inflation when it happens, and trust that it will end, that you'll settle into a sustainable rhythm again. The universe did. So will you. Let me share something about planetary migration. When we first started discovering planets around other stars, we found something unexpected. Hot Jupiters, giant planets orbiting extremely close to their stars, completing an orbit in just a few days. These planets are gas giants like Jupiter, but they couldn't have formed where they are, that close to their star. The heat would have prevented their formation. The only explanation is that they formed farther out and then migrated inward. Slowly, over millions of years, gravitational interactions pushed them closer and closer to their star. They traveled through their solar system, probably disrupting the orbits of other planets as they went, until they settled in their new, unexpected location. If planets can migrate, if massive worlds can relocate across billions of miles, then surely you can change too. You're not stuck where you formed. The position you started in, the circumstances of your birth, the early conditions of your life, they don't determine where you end up. You can migrate. It might take time. It might disrupt other things. But movement is possible, and migration isn't giving up or running away. It's responding to forces, to gravity, to the dynamics of your system. Sometimes the only way to survive is to move, to find a new orbit, a new relationship with the center. And that's not failure. That's adaptation. That's wisdom. Let me tell you about the speed of light. It's 186,000 miles per second. Nothing with mass can travel that fast. Light itself, photons, they travel at this cosmic speed limit. And yet, even at that incomprehensible velocity, light from distant galaxies takes billions of years to reach us. The light you see from a galaxy 10 billion light years away, it left that galaxy 10 billion years ago. Before the Earth existed, before our sun was born, that light has been traveling alone in the dark for most of the age of the universe, and it's only now reaching your eyes. Think about that journey, 10 billion years of traveling through nothing, no landmarks, no rest stops, no confirmation that you're going the right way, or that anyone will be there to see you when you arrive. Just endless forward motion through the void. And yet the light doesn't give up. It can't really. It's just doing what light does, moving, persisting, carrying its message across the cosmos. You may feel like you've been traveling towards something for a long time, toward healing, toward success, toward understanding, toward peace, and it seems so far away still. You're tired. The journey feels endless. But remember the light. Sometimes arrival takes cosmic lengths of time. Sometimes the distance is greater than you can comprehend from where you stand, and yet the light keeps moving. So can you. And when you finally arrive, when the light from those distant galaxies finally reaches a telescope, finally gets converted into data and images, finally becomes something someone can see and study and marvel at, was the journey wasted? Was the time lost? No. The journey was the point. The light existed, traveled, carried its information, and arrived exactly when it was meant to. Not too early, not too late, but in perfect time. Your arrival will come, not when you think it should, but when it does. And it will be perfect timing, even if you can't see how yet. Let's talk about something beautiful and sad. The end of the universe. Based on what we understand now, the universe will likely end in heat death. As the expansion continues and accelerates, driven by dark energy, galaxies will drift farther and farther apart. Star formation will slow and eventually stop as gas is used up. Existing stars will burn out one by one. Black holes will evaporate through Hawking radiation, though this will take an almost incomprehensible amount of time. Eventually, the universe will be dark, cold, and nearly empty. Maximum entropy. No energy gradients, no ability to do work, nothing happening anymore forever. This sounds bleak, but let me offer you a different perspective. That ending is trillions of years away, so far in the future that the time between now and then contains more stories than you can imagine. Civilizations rising and falling, stars being born and dying, life emerging in places we can't predict. The universe has so much life left before it winds down. And there's something else. We don't know everything. Dark energy was only discovered in the late 1990s. The universe has surprised us before, and it will surprise us again. The heat death scenario is based on what we know now, but we keep learning, keep discovering. The end we predict might not be the end that comes. But even if it is, even if the universe does fade into cold darkness, there's peace in that too. Because it means that eventually, finally, everything gets to rest. The universe that began in violent expansion, that has churned and burned and struggled for billions of years, it gets to stop, to be still, to sleep. And maybe that's what death is for everything, including us. Not an ending to be feared, but a rest to be welcomed when the time comes. The universe will die. You will die, but not today. Today you're still here, still part of the churning and burning, still mattering, and that's enough. Let me tell you one last thing about how precious this moment is. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. It will likely continue for trillions more. In that vast span of time, you exist for maybe 80 or 90 years, maybe less, maybe a bit more if you're lucky. But however long it is, it's nothing, a cosmic eye blink, the briefest flicker. And yet, in this eye blink, you are conscious, you are aware. You can look up at the stars and understand, at least partially, what you're seeing. You can know that you're made of stardust and find meaning in that. You can feel wonder, feel connection, feel love. The universe is mostly empty space and dark matter, mostly cold and dead and dark. But in this tiny sliver of time, on this tiny planet, there is warmth, there is light, there is you, aware and alive, and reading these words. That's not nothing, that's everything. Your anxiety, your worries, your struggles, they feel enormous because you're inside them. But step back. Look at them from the cosmic scale, from the perspective of light that's been traveling for billions of years, or galaxies colliding over eons, or the slow, patient orbit of our sun around the galactic center. From that perspective, your troubles are not trivial. They're not unimportant, but they are temporary, bounded in time and space, held gently by a universe that has seen so much come and go. Your pain will pass. It's already passing. Every moment carries you further from it, whether you feel that movement or not, so rest now. Let the universe hold you. You're floating in space on a ball of rock, protected by a magnetic field and an atmosphere, warmed by a star that's been burning for billions of years, surrounded by forces you can't see but that keep you safe. You're made of atoms forged in ancient stars, connected by invisible threads to everything that is and was and will be. You're part of the cosmic web, part of the pattern, part of the story that the universe is telling itself. And right now, in this chapter, you get to rest. You don't have to carry everything. You don't have to understand everything. You just have to be. And you're already doing that perfectly. The universe is vast and old and strange and beautiful. And so are you. A small part of the whole, yes, but a necessary part, an irreplaceable part. The particular arrangement of atoms that makes you has never existed before and will never exist again. You are unique in all of cosmic history. So be gentle with yourself tonight. Your struggles are real but temporary. Your pain is valid but passing. And you are held by forces older than time, carried by motions you can't feel, connected to everything, part of everything, loved by the simple fact of your existence in a universe that fought entropy to make you possible. Sleep well. The stars will still be there tomorrow, and so will you. Changed, perhaps, one day, further on your journey, but still here, still part of this impossible, beautiful cosmic story. And that's all you need to be. That's all any of us need to be, here, now, part of it all, breathing slowly, resting deeply, held gently by the universe that made us. Good night, and may your dreams be as vast and peaceful as the spaces between stars.